it's another thing that could go wrong. And when you're riding an electric skateboard, a lot of things could go wrong. So you want to eliminate as many of those little things as you can so you can be as safe as you can be.
And we are the dreamers of dreams.
Living life, spinning like a merry-go-round, traveling all around the world, you know we get around. Good vibes only, you know it's the one and only Justin Bravo. Yeah, that's my number one homie, subscribe. Come on.
What's going on, Goat Gang? I hope y'all had a great Easter, great April Fools. Did anybody pull any good pranks? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I want to know how your pranks went down. I hope you enjoyed the video yesterday where we got the Easter egg, the $10,000 golden egg prank. I hope y'all really liked that. But I wanted to talk about today something that I'm getting tons of messages about, and that is Justin, Wowgo versus Ownboard versus Boosted Board versus Meepo board. Like, everybody wants to know, like, which one of these boards is the board to have, which one to get, and I get it. There's so many options, and there's a lot of ambiguity on which is the best, what board has what features, and which one you should get. I'll tell you that today, I'm not gonna go into a whole speed versus range and all that stuff. You can put that down, you can look at it on the sites and see if maybe that works for you. You can see if they are true to that range. I haven't done a range test on anything except for the Boosted Board extended battery, and that one got close to 14.5 miles on the Boosted Board extended battery. But on the Ownboard and all that stuff, I haven't done a thorough range test, so I can't give you exact numbers on there. I can only go based on what it says on the website. But I will say the one thing, the definitive thing for me, and what is a huge factor when I tell you which one I like, it's all about the remote control. Let me show you. Okay, so every one of these companies have sent me these boards to review, to check out. I don't have the Wowgo with me right now because I lent it to a friend of mine. He's thinking about getting a Wowgo, so he wanted to try it out. So I lent my Wowgo out to him. But here are the traditional remote controls. This right here is the standard remote control that all Chinese boards came with in the beginning when they first started releasing. And I believe Meepo's still coming out with. I haven't seen them change this up. And this is a very simple remote control, and you can see it on the websites when you can stick your finger. It looks like almost like a little gun, and you can go and you operate on this little toggle right here for your throttle and brake. Now, if I'm being honest, it's my least favorite of all the remotes. I really do not like it, and that's because the way this works, I don't know how the positioning on it is, but it's either you're like going fast or you're going slow, and it doesn't feel like you can have a gradual use of this toggle switch. It very much doesn't have a very smooth braking if you're braking, or smooth throttle. All the other boards are starting to copy the Boosted Board remote, which to me is honestly the best remote. It's 100% the best remote. I like it because of this action right here, and you can check it out. They've got this throttle wheel right here, which is a lot more responsive than what you see on the Meepo and some of the other early Chinese remotes. Those were very hard to use. These, every little bit you turn that wheel, it goes gas. Every little bit you pull back, it brakes. So you can have a really good control over your throttle and your brake. And Boosted Board did it first, and their controller really to me is the best. But you're seeing Ownboard and all these others, and I just saw the Wowgo 2 now has this type of remote, and I'm sure Meepo is on its way with it also, but they all have gone to this style remote control, which is ideal, but they don't have deadman switches like the Boosted. So I don't know what the thought behind that is. I don't know if there's some kind of reasoning there. My guess is they can't copy the Boosted remote control that much, but they do a pretty good job of it, at least with this wheel part. And the one thing I like about the Boosted over all the boards is the Boosted, once it comes to complete dead stop and you push back on it, then it throttles in the opposite direction. So the Boosted Board control is whatever direction it's going in, you could actually go reverse without flipping any switches. Where the Ownboard, the Wowgo 2, and a lot of these other boards that you're using this new style that's a copy of the Boosted Board remote, you have to flip the switch and then it will engage it in a different direction and then it operates. So the throttle is always going to go forward and back is always brake on these. On the boosted, it depends. If you are at a stop and you pull back on it, it will actually throttle in reverse, and you have to push forward to brake it. So the boosted, I like the way that controls. To me, it is the best, and it's confusing a lot of times when I go on these type boards because I have to flip a switch, and that's annoying. And not to mention, there's sometimes you flip the switch to go in reverse, and then you get off the board and you're doing something else, and then you get back on the board, you forgot that you flipped the switch, and you hit forward, and woo, the board goes flying. So inherently, you've got to be a little bit safe. You got a little checkout when you're on one of these Ownboards or Wowgo 2 or maybe Meepo if they've gone to this. But boosted, I like the remote. I still think they're the king of that. That is what sets boosted apart, I think, on the remote control end of things. So this is how a boosted board works. Here's the remote. I'm gonna hit the deadman switch. I'll go forward. It goes forward. I push back. It goes backwards. It goes forward. It goes backwards. There's no flipping of switches. It moves back and forth depending on as I'm going back and forth on the remote. That's how the boosted works. The way the Ownboard works is I press forward, no deadman switch, go forward, Ownboard goes forward, I push back, it brakes. And the only way to go back is I gotta flip a switch, and then I press forward to go backwards. So the throttle on the Ownboard's always forward no matter what, the back is always brake no matter what. And it gets kind of confusing, and the Meepo boards, the Wowgo 2 boards, all the boards don't have a polarity that goes either direction like the boosted, so you always have to be safe when you're climbing on it and test it out and see which direction you have it set in, because it could be going in either way. So that's one thing that to me is a huge win for the boosted, having a deadman switch and the actual polarity to be able to go back and forth, no problem, not flipping switches. To me, I think it's huge, and I think it's a safe way to do it. The Meepo board, just like the other Chinese V1 remotes, again, you have to push the button to get to go in either direction, and I'll tell you why it's kind of a big deal for me, at least, once I get all these remotes out of my pocket. Check out the boosted board. So a lot of times when I'm riding on the boosted board, and if I come up to like a stoplight or something, and I'm going, and I hit my brake, okay? Hitting brake's great, but sometimes you overshoot it a little bit. I want to back up a little bit. So I'll hit a stoplight, hit a crosswalk, whoa, I want to back up a little bit. I can't do that on the boards as quickly because you have to flip the switch, and then you got to remember to flip the switch back, and it's another thing that could go wrong. And when you're riding an electric skateboard, a lot of things could go wrong. So you want to eliminate as many of those little things as you can, so you can be as safe as you can be. So anyway, for me, that's why the boosted board remote is a winner. And whenever I'm recommending an electric board, I have been pushing the Ownboard as of late, because the Ownboard is using the higher quality remote, in my opinion. Wowgo 2, I haven't played with it yet, but I've seen some of my buddies who have the Wowgo 2. I have the original Wowgo. Wowgo 2, you want to hook it up, let me know, I'll review your board. But the Wowgo 2 apparently uses a very similar remote too. So that's why I would push those, because to me, the remote control is the essential tool to having a safe ride on an electric board. But, you know, for now, I hope that helped you. I hope it helped you pick out a board. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, hit the streets. That's right, boosted board. You show them who's boss.